Well, as we come back to our show jumping ring, our next class is underway, and that is the Murray and Donna Mole sponsored junior single accumulator class. And a competitor we're getting set to watch is Sarah Dearlove from Tolga, and she is riding Mimi, a winner of a class earlier on here this morning. This particular horse was bred and owned by Chrissy Bradfield from Warwick in southeast Queensland before the horse was bought by Sarah and her family. So in this class there's a total of 10 fences, and they receive a point for each fence that they clear. So we see a clear round, all clear for Sarah Dearlove, riding Mimi. So we see two clear rounds, Kaylee Stevens and Sarah Dearlove both jumping clear, so there's a total of 55 points on offer. So we have two horse and rider combinations that are both sitting on 55 points each. So Tristan Pye, the next of our show jumping competitors, local rider. And Tristan is riding Jewel of the Crown. So all clear for Tristan Pye, riding Jewel of the Crown. All clear. Well, Lacelle Haywood is our next competitor on course, and she is riding Little Big Town. So from Wollongbar in New South Wales, travelling up here with her grandfather, Mr. Ian Everingham, this year. Made the long pilgrimage north to compete at Australia's largest regional show. And she takes a run at the final fence, but safely over the final fence. No penalties here this afternoon for Lacelle Haywood, riding Little Big Town. All clear. So a time of 50.19 and all clear for Lascelles Haywood and Little Big Town. Well, on course now we have 14-year-old show jumping competitor from Malanda, Jude Dawson. And he's riding Flash for Cash. Well, that was Jude Dawson completing his round here in the Murray and Donna Mole Junior single accumulator class. We'll carry 4 penalties there with the rail down. So as we see them in the big bowl canter now approaching the start, this is young Hunter O'Donnell. And Hunter is riding Billie Jean. We can see our ridden class has been judged in ring 2 and 3 here this afternoon. Good luck to all of our competitors competing here this afternoon in our ridden classes. So Hunter O'Donnell and Billie Jean complete their course here this afternoon. Time of 59.86 for Hunter O'Donnell and Billie Jean jumping clear, so they will receive the full points on offer, which is 55 in total with the 10 fences. 1 point for fence number 1 if you jump it clearly, 2 points for fence 2 if you jump it clearly, 3 points for fence 3 and so on. So a total of 55 points on offer. Fastest time and the horse and rider combination with the most amount of points accumulated will be the winner of the class. So Valley Collins is our rider now on course. Malanda show jumping competitor. Safely over the first 9 fences, he makes away Down to the final fence, fence number 10. Well, you can rock 'em, but you can't knock 'em, and she's done that safely. Young Varley Collins completing the round on a beautiful little paint horse. Well, looks like we may just have had a rail down, so we will carry 4 jumping penalties. Thanks very much to our arena crew picking up the rails. We do have 4 penalties for our last competitor. So Bo Little from Ravenshoe, and Bo is riding All Spice. Next combination we watch. Thanks, Bo. Bo Little completes his course here this afternoon, riding All Spice. We'll wait for the official time to come through. Time of 53.09 for Bo Little, riding All Spice and all clear. So I do believe unofficially the leading time at this stage, with the gaining of the full maximum points on offer being 55, is Lascelles Haywood and Little Big Town, unofficially our leaders, on a 50.19. So young 13-year-old show jumping competitor Kaylee Stevens from Warrigal in Victoria. And, she's riding Van Wilder. Her second nomination in the class. So Kaylee and sister Alyssa and Dad Phil travelling up from the Gippsland in Victoria. They commence their show run at Rockhampton Show this year. What a lovely string of horses, and the horses have absolutely thrived in this beautiful warm weather here in North Queensland since arriving. And Phil, it's wonderful to have Phil and his 2 daughters here this year at the show, and it's exactly 20 years to the date since Phil last competed here at the Cairns Show, competing here back in 2002. And Kaylee Stevens and Van Wilder were the horse and rider combination we watched in the show jumping event we're currently watching, which is the Murray and Donna Mole Jr. single accumulator class. So we have a new leader, Kaylee Stevens and Van Wilder, all clear, and a new leading time of 50.01. So that's the new leader. Again, a very special thank you to Sinorama, another one of our great partners here this year at the Cairns Show, Star 102.7. And a big thank you to Stoddart Security, of course, Stoddart Security proudly sponsoring our wonderful fireworks spectacular once again here tonight. And of course, the Stoddart Security and Explosive Arts fireworks will be on tonight here in the Clive Gordon Main Arena at 9 p.m. Well, looks like we're going to watch young Tristan Pye and Electric Sky. It's the horse that he's riding, local show jumping competitor. Not only competes in show jumping, but he's one of Australia's up-and-coming young junior bull riding champions. The PBR will be held here on Saturday night in Cairns at the Cairns Convention Centre. PBR stands for Professional Bull Riders Touring Event. Thanks, Tristan. Safely over fence number 10, but we do have 2 rails down, so that will take his tally back a little bit as we do the mathematics in our judges box. That'll see him out of the place, getters, as the competition stands unofficially. Well, you can see in ring number 2 we have our working hunter ponies currently being judged. Of course, our hunter horses are a bit more of a heavier bone substance horse. And of course, our working hunter horses have been asked to jump over 2 fences that have been set by our judges. Because we go back to the hunting days and in England, and we look for a horse that we can ride all day, that's smooth and comfortable. Out just like if they were out in the fields chasing the hounds. So our working hunter classes are currently being judged as we speak now. Because our ponies that measure from 11 to 13 hands, and then of course our Galloways measuring up to 15 hands, and our hacks are over 15 hands. Well, we'll come back very shortly with our official presentation for the Murray and Donna Mull Junior Single Accumulator Show Jumping event. Well, of course, we speak about our show hunter horses and our show hunter ponies measuring up to 14 hands, our Galloways measuring from 14 to 15 hands. Then our show hunter hacks, of course, over 15 hands. Because the popularity of the show hunter has grown in over the last few years. The show hunter type is not expected to have the same refinement as the show hack. but has other attributes which makes them suitable for all age groups to enjoy. The show hunter should create the impression that it is capable of hunting over a variety of terrains all day. It should give a stronger impression than the show hack. If they're looking for type, they're looking for the show hunter, should have a more substance without coordinateness. Confirmation and soundness is key, action and paces, and workouts. And as we said here in our classes this afternoon, they have been required to jump over some cavaletti jumps, smaller jumps than what we see in our show jumping ring. So that's what's being judged this afternoon, our show hunter ponies, Galloways and hacks. In ring number 2. But right now we're going to have our presentation very shortly in our show jumping ring in front of the Clive Gordon Main Arena sign. Well, as we make the presentation, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen of Cairns, for the Murray and Donna Mole Junior Single Accumulator Competition, we welcome to the presentation area our winner, Kaylee Stevens, riding Van Wilder. Congratulations, Kaylee. And our judge from Townsville, Mr. Trevor Hyatt, down to make the presentation to the winner of the class. Winning this class in 2022. Our show jumping visitor from Warragul in Victoria. And of course, 12 months ago, it was Sarah Dearlove and Mimi that were the winners of this particular class. Our second place getter, Lacelle Haywood, riding Little Big Town. Because Lacelle has already won a class here earlier on this morning. She won our first class for the day. Our third place ribbon will be awarded to Sarah Dearlove from Tolga, riding Mimi. And we say a very special thank you to Murray and Donna Mole, wonderful supporters of the show jumping here each and every year at the Cairns Show. Fourth place, Bo Little, riding All Spice from Ravenshoe. And our fifth place ribbon being awarded to Kaylee Stevens at Burnside. So Kaylee not only picks up first place, but winning fifth place as well. Well done to our junior riders. It's wonderful to see all of our junior riders competing here at this year's Cairns Regional Show. And we certainly know that the future of Australian show jumping is in wonderful hands. Congratulations, Kaylee Stevens first, second Lacelle Haywood, third place Sarah Dearlove, fourth place Bo Little, fifth place Kaylee Stevens. And folks, as they parade off now in front of the Hedrick Grandstand, please give them a big round of applause. Our winner and place getters in the Murray and Donna Mole Junior Single Accumulator Show Jumping Championship. Congratulations, Kaylee Stevens from Warragul in Victoria, taking out first place. Our New South Wales show jumping competitor, Lacelle Haywood in second. Third place, Sarah Dearlove. Fourth place, Bo Little. And fifth place, Kaylee Stevens. Well, folks, we'll take a short break in the Clive Gordon Main Arena, and we'll be coming back very, very shortly because we have another wonderful show jumping event coming up. And once again, this is the great single accumulator event, so that's coming up very, very shortly. And we will have some results to hand very shortly from rings 2 and 3. But once again, it's lovely to welcome you all out here to the Clive Gordon Main Arena. We've got Mr. Steve Armett taking you through the wonderful wood shopping here this afternoon. So, folks, enjoy your day at the show. And remember to head on over to Sideshow Alley and check out all those great rides that are presented here this year at the show. And as you make your way back over to the main ring tonight for all of our nighttime entertainment, head on down to Showbags Warehouse and purchase yourself one of those famous show bags that have been presented here by the team from Showbags Warehouse. So we'll be back very, very shortly. Well, we have some results coming through for the champion novice pony hack, because our ponies, of course, are measuring under 14 hands in height. And congratulations, our Century Cranes champion novice pony hack for 2022 is young William Bartlett from here in Cairns, local competitor, with his lovely nomination Mirror Image taking out the championship here this afternoon. And our Century Cranes Reserve Champion Novice Pony Hack is Jenny Maloff's nomination, Polmore Park Lovebound. So congratulations, your Century Cranes Champion Novice Pony Hack, William Bartlett and Mirror Image, and the Century Cranes Reserve Champion Novice Pony Hack, Jenny Maloff and Polmore Park Lovebound. Well, as we said, we'll be coming back in the show jumping ring very, very shortly with another one of our accumulator classes. We're just setting the course there now with our course builder, Mr. Rob Button, and his wonderful crew. Mr. Wayne Shepherd and the entire team out there assisting Rob. His daughter Jess is even out there assisting him this year. Don't forget to tune in to Tammy Barker and Bodge for breakfast. And they're at Triple M 99.5. And, of course, the Esky races will be coming up here tonight, a part of our nighttime program. Now, while we have the opportunity, we might tell you a little bit about what's happening here tonight. Of course, The Australian National Anthem will be performed at 5 p.m. this afternoon. At the 5:15, it'll be the first heats of the Ergon Energy and Cairns Taxis Division 1, Heat 1 of the Cairns Show Novice Queensland Pole Climbing Championships. At 5:30 here tonight, it will be the Bendigo Bank Woodchop Northerners vs Southerners Invitation Team Relay. The second of the heats for the Open Australian, or I should say the first heat of the Open Australian Show Pole Climbing Championships at 5:45. At 6 o'clock tonight, it will be the Invitational Show Jumping Masters Championship. At 6:45, we will have the Big Electrics and Evolve Equipment Hire Specialists presenting Airtime FMX to the show here this year, the best in the business. At 7:05, it is the Triple M Esky Racing Tournament, and at 7:15, it is the Evolve Equipment Hire Rooftop Express Brumby Muster coming up at 7:15 tonight. And don't forget, boys and girls, tonight at 9 p.m. it will be the Stoddart Security and Explosive Arts Fireworks Spectacular. So that's just a little bit as what is coming up here tonight. It'll be a wonderful night here in the Clive Gordon Main Arena, so make sure you're here with us from 5 o'clock this afternoon as we'll perform the Australian National Anthem, and then things will certainly be really, really heating up, a part of the wonderful, great nighttime program at Australia's largest regional show, the Cairns Show. So lovely to welcome down this afternoon in centering one of our Executive Vice Presidents, Mr. Lee James. Lovely to see you, Lee. Well, folks, while you're here at the show this year, don't forget to check out the Flower Beard competition. You can find the Flower Beard competition located at the Horticulture Pavilion. Taste Paradise Farm, of course, we had Tony from Taste Paradise Farm up here with us earlier on here today. And we're showcasing a wide range of sustainable food production in far north Queensland. Well, as we said here this year, Sideshow Alley Fun. The best rides, we have the Beast, we have the Scream Soundwave, the Extreme Speed Ride, the Sky Flyer, the Crazy Coaster, the Big Wheel, the Space Roller, the largest Sideshow Alley in Queensland. So, Cairns, make sure you make your way to Sideshow Alley and check out all of those great rides. There is something for everybody here at the show once again this year. Remember to grab yourself a free program guide, and it will keep you up to date with all the latest happenings around the showground. And you can also pick up the local map inside that particular guide, and it explains in very, very fine and intricate detail of the location of where everything is located here on the Cairns Showground. Well, we've got everything here this year. We've got our school displays, our visual arts and pottery, our photography. We'll have another meat cutting session coming up very, very shortly here in front of the Tajalas Pavilion on ground level. Coming up at 2:30, so we're not too far away. We have our Indigenous Arts. We have the 4CA Fred Mole Exhibition Centre, our Horticultural Pavilion, as we spoke about, the New Leaf Flower Beard competition. The Birds and Poultry Pavilion is all open. We have our goats. Cats and dogs will be on show later on this afternoon at 5:30, I do believe, for the dog show down in the Lee James Dog Arena. So there is something for everybody here at Australia's largest regional show, and it's lovely to have your company here this evening and throughout the course of the afternoon. Big thank you to Win News, another one of our great partners here at the show this year. Cross Custom Meats, they're another one of our great sponsors. A very good afternoon and welcome to all of our sponsors and our event partners here at this year's Cairns Show. We certainly hope that you're enjoying your afternoon. As we said, plenty of things to see and do. We'll be back very shortly in our show jumping ring, and the current time now is 26 minutes past 2 o'clock. Well, they'll also, as we said, coming up very shortly down on ground level in front of the Tajalas Pavilion, we'll have another Meat Magic display. I do believe the sausages are coming out at 2:15, so make sure you make your way down here in front of the Tajalas Pavilion here on ground level, and you can catch up with Stan and Gwen as they present their next show at 2:30 p.m. here this afternoon. Well, as we come back to our show jumping ring for our next show jumping event, this is the Murray and Donna Mole sponsored single accumulator show jumping class. And the height of our fence is 1.30 m. So we welcome out the next of our show jumping riders. This is Caitlin Staples from Collector in New South Wales, riding KC Spotterbug. Well, like our previous class, this is a what they call an accumulator. So there's 10 fences in this course. If they jump the first fence clear, they receive 1 point. Fence 2 clear, 2 points, and so forth. There's a total of 55 points up for grabs. So to decide the winner of the class, it will be the horse and rider combination with the most points and the fastest time. Well, as we said earlier on today, Caitlin's 18 years of age. She's currently in a gap year, and she's travelled up from Collector, New South Wales, competing on all the shows throughout New South Wales and Queensland this year. And KC Spotterbug, he's a great horse. He's a great road horse. He's ever so consistent. And we see a clear round here this afternoon there for Caitlin. It's great to have Caitlin, mother and twin sister Heidi and Dad Seth up here at this year's show. So it's young Alyssa Stevens on course from Warragul in Victoria. And she's riding the Vince, this brown horse. So Sister Kaylee and Dad Phil also, they commence their Queensland show run at the Rockhampton show this year. Dad Phil's been a very, very successful show jumping competitor. And young Alyssa and his two daughters, Alyssa and Kaylee, both following their father's footsteps. Okay, well, it looks like it's another clear round for our competitor we watched, Alyssa Stevens, on course. So a time of 53.29 for Alyssa Stevens, our last show jumping competitor, 53.29. So the leading time in the single accumulator for the 1.30 m show jumping class is 50.09. Phil Stevens is leading the competition because we speak about the height of the fences. 1.30 m at the height of our fences for our class we're currently watching. We'll see probably here tomorrow on Championship Day. We'll have fences built around that 1 metre to 1 metre 60, of course. That 1 metre 55 to 1 metre 60 being Olympian height. So we welcome out now Mitchell Everingham. And Mitchell is riding Kenai. So he'll be looking to jump clear here and try and be quicker than 50.09. It's only a one-round competition, so they only have one shot to try and put together a lovely clear round. Now Mitch works as a diesel fitter mechanic down there at Southport on the Gold Coast. He's competed here for many, many years as a child and as a teenager growing up. His father Ian was a very successful harness racing reinsman driver here in North Queensland for many years when the harness racing was big on the Queensland show circuit. And now they turn their hand to show jumping. Brother Brock's also a very, very accomplished show jumping rider. And Mitch and Kenai, they make their way around the course as the Cairns Post sign is displayed in the background on our big screen. A big thank you to the Cairns Post and Cairns Regional Council. We'll wait for the official time to come through. And a time of 49.57, 49.57, so that'll be the brand new leader, Mitchell Everingham, riding Kenai. So we'll have the official presentation, the official amount of presentation here for our winner and place getters here in our show jumping class. As that does complete the 1 metre 30 single accumulator show jumping event. A very special thank you to Murray and Donna Moles sponsoring our single accumulator show jumping class here this afternoon. Because coming up we'll have our under 25 points AM7 one round show jumping event. Will be the next event on the card. So folks, please do stick with us here in the Clive Gordon Main Arena. We'll come back very shortly for our official mounted presentation. Once again, on behalf of the Cairns Show Society, it's lovely to have your company here this afternoon at the 117th running of the Cairns Show. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as we make the presentation here in front of the Clive Gordon Main Arena sign here this afternoon, it's lovely to welcome our show jumping judge, Mr. Trevor Hyatt, to make the presentation to the winner of our Open Single Accumulator Show Jumping Championship here this afternoon. Congratulations, Mitchell Everingham, taking out first place, riding Kenai with a time of 49.57. First place getter, receiving his lovely blue ribbon from our judge, Mr. Trevor Hyatt. Second place goes to Phil Stevens. Congratulations, Phil. Jumping clear here this afternoon, gaining a maximum 55 points and a time of 50.09. Our third place ribbon will be awarded to Alyssa Stevens, riding her wonderful horse here this afternoon with a time of 53.29. Our fourth place ribbon going to collect the New South Wales show jumping competitor, Caitlin Staples, at a time of 56.13. And our fifth money hole will be filled here this afternoon by Mitchell Everingham with his second nomination in the class, riding Renovator. So congratulations to our show jumping riders, and thank you very much to Murray and Donna Mole for their sponsorship of our single accumulator 1 metre 30 show jumping event. Been a wonderful class to watch. And the show jumping has been absolutely first class here this year at the 117th running of this year's Cairns Show. So Trevor now presenting the ribbon to our New South Wales show jumping competitor, Caitlin Staples. Of course, coming up here tonight, a part of our nighttime program at approximately 6 p.m, we will have our Invitational Masters show jumping event. That's coming up at approximately 6 p.m. here tonight. Congratulations, riders. As they parade off, folks, there they are. Our winner, Mitchell Everingham, riding Kenai, taking out the Murray and Donna Mole Show Jumping Championship. Phil Stevens second, Alyssa Stevens third, Caitlin Staples in fourth place, and fifth place, Mitchell Everingham. Well, as they come past down the Hedrick Grandstand, folks, please give them a big round of applause. There they are, the best in the business here at this year's Cairns Show in our show jumping ring. Mitch Everingham, Phil Stevens, Alyssa Stevens, Caitlin Staples. So, folks, we'll come back very shortly in our show jumping ring for our next show jumping event. The Murray and Donna Mole under 25 points AM7 class will be our next event. We'll take a short break and we'll be back very soon. Well, we do have a message. If Mr. Bill Jones can hear this message, Mr. Bill Jones, if you can hear this message, your family are looking for you. If you could please meet them in front of the Tajalis Pavilion, please. So a message to Mr. Bill Jones. If you can hear this message, if you could please meet your family in the front of the Tajalis Pavilion. Well, once again, folks, while we have this opportunity here in our Clive Gordon Main Arena, we thank all of our wonderful sponsors and partners here at the 117th running of this year's Cairns Show. We speak about Donna and Murray Mole, of course, wonderful supporters here in our show jumping ring once again this year, of course, sponsoring a numerous amount of classes here today. They've actually sponsored 5 classes here today in our show jumping ring, so a very special thank you to Donna and Murray Mole. We have Flourish Plants, Big Electrics, Dairy Farmers, Lions International, Cairns Taxis, Great Northern Brewing Company, Cancer Council Queensland, Explosive Arts, who are proudly presenting our fireworks spectacular once again here tonight. We have Ray White, Rural and Livestock and Property. The Showman's Guild of Australasia, boys and girls. Make sure you do head on over to Sideshow Alley. It's all open for business. And we'll be open all night, and you can check out all of the leading rides presented by our wonderful show families from the Showman's Guild of Australasia, and they're great sponsors and supporters of the Cairns Regional Show. We have Earlville Shopping Centre, ProGig. Of course, ProGig supplying all of the wonderful sound equipment here at this year's Cairns Show. When you want the best in the business, make sure you employ ProGig. Pest Away Pest Management, Will Clean, with over 40 years service to event services. A big thank you to Will Clean. Queensland Rural, of course, Mr. Wayne Shepherd here at the show this year representing Queensland Rural. We have Joe Feller, Insurance Brokers. Showbags Warehouse, boys and girls, head on down and see Gordon Richards and Shelley Easy down there at Showbags Warehouse for all your showbag requirements. And what a range and what a great lineup of show bags they have this year at the show. We have Norlift, along with Underwood Party Hire, event specialists. Of course, Underwood Party Hire was established in 1926 by Mr. Alfred Underwood. So in 2026, they will be celebrating 100 years in business. MSF Sugar, we have Bizzit, the North Queensland sale yards located at Mareeba, and they have a weekly fat and store cattle sale that is held every Tuesday. Bega Cheese, the Australian Stockhorse Society, Tosco, Office National, Stoddart Security Management, of course looking after all the security here this year at the show, and they're our official sponsors of the fireworks spectacular here tonight. Advanced Rural, Total Exhibition Services, Cross Custom Meats, Bendigo Bank. We have Melinda Meat Company, New Leaf, Honeycomb Sales and Service, Inspired Signs, Sinorama, The Feed Shop, J&R Refrigeration, Ergon Energy, and also Business Liaison Association, along with Channel 7, the Cairns Post, the Win Network, and Cairns Local News. And a big thank you to the Australian Government, the Queensland Government, and the Cairns Regional Council. So, on behalf of the Show Society here at Cairns and President Mr. Ian Allen, we'd like to extend a very special thank you and a big warm welcome to all of our wonderful sponsors and event partners that are making the 117th Cairns Show one to remember. Well, as the time just goes 6 minutes past 3 o'clock, now we look to our event schedule here at this year's Cairns Show, and we can see at 3:15 here this afternoon we have Dennis Dingo Dryden, the Australian musician and bush poet. Now he's on till 4:30 this afternoon. Dennis is down from around the Ballina area in New South Wales, so make sure you do head on down and say good day to Dennis Dingo Dryden and catch his wonderful show. That's coming up at 3:15 down on the community stage. Because here this afternoon or this evening at 5:30 p.m. down in the Lee James Arena, we will have the dog sports competition. That's coming up from 5:30 p.m. Well, one thing about it here at this year's Cairns Show, you won't go hungry. There's plenty of wonderful food, and if you're looking for something meaty, be sure to check out Barbecue Brothers Australia. Their location is at K3, but look to your show map to refer to that. We have Carvery Catering, On the Road Catering, Old Style Gourmet, Snits and Gigs, along with Little Devil Kebabs. If you're looking for that quick fix, well, Meldrum's Bakery Cafe might be the answer. M&G Espresso, the Cafe Cart, Brophy's, Cairns, Cook Island Christian Church, Christian Mission Fellowship. We have the Rotary Club of Cairns, Meddings Pies, Freshwater Scout Group, and Just Chips. If you're looking for something a little bit sweet here on day number 2 of this year's Cairns Show, well, look no further than Candy Lane Candy Bar, Jake's Lollies, Exotic Field Candy and Licorice, Sweet and Cool World, Fruit Juice, Little Bit Cheeky Curios, J&M Dross, Mr. Whip, Sugar Rush Candyland, Craft Sodas. We have Sunliner Catering, Rainbow Freezy, Slushy Hut, Georgia Miller, Summer's Ice Cream, Slushy Queen, Berry Delicious. And if you're looking for that culture cuisine, Far North Queensland Food Incubator, Tablelands to Tabletop, Fingalhorn, Jim's Jerky, Dumpling Studio, Madame Frankie's German Sausages, Riverina Jerky and Biltong, and rakish curries. So, as we said, you certainly will not go hungry here at this year's Cairns Show. And boys and girls, Sideshow Alley, it's all open for business, and this is the largest assemblement of rides you will ever see in Queensland. You know why? Because the Cairns Show is the largest regional show in Australia. So go on over to Sideshow Alley and enjoy the thrills and excitement that it has to offer at this year's show. Remember, the show only comes to town once a year. Nice to see you, Dylan. Well, don't forget, boys and girls, coming up at 4 o'clock here this afternoon, there'll be another race at the Melville's Duck Racing. And you can catch Melville's Duck Racing in the Animal Nursery, which is situated at the Dairy Farmers Pavilion. So be sure to check out the duck racing at Melville's Animal Farm. And while you're there at Melville's Animal Farm, you can take a selfie with the Bindi the dog and get up close and personal with an array of cute farm animals at Melville's Animal Nursery. Don't forget to check out the Ag Venture and come and see the Cairns Show crop display. Learn about some of the crops you might see growing in the north and how to keep our soils healthy. Enter the competition to win a free family pass to the 2023 Cairns Show. And of course the flower bed competition. You can enter the flower bed competition and decorate your bed to win $50 voucher from New Leaf. Everyone without a bed is welcome down. That's also down in the Fred Mole Pavilion. You can ride a police motorbike, because find out what being a police officer is really about, and climb aboard a real-life police motorbike in the Fred Mole Exhibition Centre. Our classical cars, marvel at the classic cars from the Cairns Historical Car Club and meet the owners. And take a step back in time with 7 Cairns Heritage Park. Watch the beautiful restored machinery in action and meet the people who keep these traditions alive. From motorhomes to camper trailers, quad bikes to tractors, see the latest trends in technology and machinery, sure to impress the young and young at heart. You can also pen for gold here at this year's show, and you can strike a lucky and pen for gold at the Rocky River Mining Display at the 7 Heritage area. And while you're over in the 7 Historical Heritage Park, you can see the real-life blacksmiths in action as they create masterpieces. We have steam trains on display here this year, of course let off some steam at the miniature steam display in the horticulture section. With an incredible attention to detail, this display always delights both young and old. And we have our gemstones and minerals swing past the Cairns Minerals and Lapidary Club exhibit in the Craft Pavilion to discover the incredible world of locally discovered gems, stones and minerals. The Win News Arts and Crafts Pavilion admire the talent and skills of local cake decorators, from wedding cakes to novelty birthday creations and everything in between. It's a sweet inspiration for all. The Indigenous Arts Gallery, an artistic cultural experience displaying art from children as young as 5 through to adults, located at the Fred Mole Pavilion. Well, they're just some of the wonderful things that are on around the grounds. You can check out the community stage, enjoy 3 full days of incredible performances from local talent, including an Australian musician and poet, school dancing, singing, the bands assemble and much, much more. Have a look at the community stage entertainment program in your show guide. Jonas Kirk, the artful bodger, will have you mesmerised with his traditional wood-turning skills, and you can catch Jonas Kirk at the 7 Heritage area. Well, we still have another show jumping event to come our way here this afternoon before our Invitational Masters show jumping event, part of our nighttime program tonight. So folks, we'll be back very shortly here in the Clive Gordon Main Arena. Once again, it's lovely to have your company here on day number 2 of the 117th running of Australia's largest regional show, the Cairns Show. And what a great nighttime program we certainly have coming up here tonight. We've got it all here. It's going to be an action-packed night of entertainment, including Airtime FMX. We'll have Rooftop Express with their Brumby Muster. What else have we got coming up? We've got the Ergon Energy and Cairns Taxis first heats of the Novice Queensland Pole Climbing Championships coming your way here this afternoon at 5:15, but it will all kick off here in the Clive Gordon Main Arena at 5 p.m. this afternoon, when we will be performing the Australian National Anthem. But it's all here tonight. Aussie Chainsaw Racing, as we said, Big Electrics and Volvo Equipment Hire, presents the Airtime FMX. Tommy G, Brad Birch, they're the best in the business. That's why they're chosen to present here at the Cairns Show each and every year. And of course, we will draw the curtains here tonight with the Stoddart Security and Explosive Arts fireworks finale. It's all coming up here tonight in Centre Ring, folks. We hope you can join us. Enjoy your afternoon at the show. We'll be going show jumping very, very shortly. Well, as we come back to the show jumping ring here this afternoon, and we're getting set to go with our first horse and rider combination as they make their way around the course. And this is a local show jumping competitor, Linda Crabb. And Linda is riding Kentucky Fancy Diva. So this is an AM7 show jumping event, sponsored by Murray and Donna Mole. So when we talk about AM7, they have 2 courses to complete, but they must complete the first course without any penalties or time faults to move straight into the jump off. If they have a penalty or time faults, they will not proceed to the jump off. But this is a little bit different to any other normal jump off. The competitor and horse must not leave the ring. So when they complete their first round, they then have 45 seconds. The judge will ring the bell, and then they have 45 seconds to start their second round for the jump off. So as you can see, Linda was all clear in the first phase. Now she will move into the second phase. Well, a great little horse, this little bay horse she calls Kentucky Fancy Diva. And she's had great success with this horse for many, many years. So the horse and rider combination with the fastest time and least number of penalties will be the winner of the class. And there's a lovely clear round. Put your hands together for a Cairns, your local show jumping competitor, Linda Crabb riding Kentucky Fancy Diva. We'll wait for the time to officially come through. So a time for Linda Crabb and Kentucky Fancy Diva, 31.44, and all clear. So coming forward now, we welcome out Semi Joe O'Connor. And Semi Joe is right in darkness. Well, we have results coming through from our ridden classes here this afternoon from rings 2 and 3. Our champion novice show, Hunter Pony, for 2022. Congratulations, Ainsley Dubbins and Shalita Park Buckshot taking out the championship. Our champion open, show Hunter Pony, was also awarded to Ainsley Dubbins, I should say, right in Shalita Park Buckshot. Our Coppin Construction champion Pony Hack, congratulations Melinda competitor Kimberly Cockram and Newington Birthday Girl. And the Coppin Construction Reserve champion Pony Hack was awarded to Ella Godfrey and Rivington Vadar. Well done to all of our winners and place getters this morning in our ridden classes and here this afternoon in our Pony and Galloway classes. Thanks, Semi. That was Semi Joe O'Connor on course. Well, unfortunately, carrying 2 rails here this afternoon. Big thank you to the team at Totally Workwear, the best brands at Totally Workwear. Their top brands fit out everyday industry. Proud sponsors of the Cairns Show. Shop local, bow local, Totally Workwear. Located at 123 Scott Street, Bungalow here in Cairns. For all your business, casual, healthcare, high visibility, corporate safety and hospitality. Make sure you do contact Totally Workwear. As for Lark Charleston is the name of the horse, and Dallas Bailey from Mackay is the rider in the saddle. Well, all clear for Dallas Bailey and Willark Charleston. and a time of 31.16, so brand new leader. 31.16, all clear for Dallas Bailey and Willark Charleston. So Caitlin Staples next to go. Well, we looked through past winners of this class here last year in the show jumping event that we are currently watching. And it was actually Linda Crabb and Kentucky Fancy Diva, the first horse and rider combination we watched here this afternoon, the winner of this class 12 months ago. Well, some more results have come through from Ring Centre here this afternoon for the champion Working Hunter. And congratulations, our champion is Cello Stower and Chimera's Dreamcatcher. Our reserve champion Working Hunter is Ainsley Dubbins and Shalita Park Buckshot. Our champion Lead Hunter has been awarded to Dylan Stagg with I'm a Hide and Seek. Our reserve champion Lead Hunter is Joel Verfus nomination, and that is Federal Agent. Our champion Open Show Hunter Galloway here for 2022 is Cello Stower and Chimera's Dreamcatcher. So all rings are completed, so thanks very much to our judges, Miss Jo Uppington and Miss Carl Iskra, of course from down around the Brisbane region that have been judging in rings 2 and 3, and also to Mr. Steve Fake, who judged our Western classes here today. Thank you very much. And thanks very much to our ringmaster, Miss Faye Ryle. So thanks very much, Faye, and husband Keith, for all their wonderful efforts once again here in Ring Centre. We look forward to seeing all of our hack and riding competitors here tomorrow for the third day of this year's Cairns Show. So we welcome out now Kate Little as she makes her way over fence number 1. Thanks, Kate. That was Kate Little completing her first round with 3 rails down, a total of 12 jumping penalties. Well, as we said, all of our entertainment will be commencing here this evening at 5 p.m. We'll have our Australian National Anthem being performed here on the Channel 7 community stage at 5 o'clock. That'll be followed by at 5:15 the first of the Ergon Energy and Cairns Taxis Division 1 Heat 1 of the Cairns Show Novice Queensland Pole Climbing Championships. All part of the wonderful nighttime program here tonight. And of course, we've got Airtime FMX, the Rooftop Express, Brumby Muster. It'll be all here tonight in the Clive Gordon main arena. And the Explosive Arts Fireworks Spectacular at 9 p.m. tonight. Well, that was Jermaine Regato we watched on course, our Mareeba show jumping competitor. We will have 4 jumping penalties with their refusal at the first fence. Well, the next of our show jumping competitors makes his way into the show jumping ring over the first two fences as we speak. This is Mitchell Everingham riding Pommy Jackaroo. Well, the leading time is 31.16. There's the time our competitors are looking to chase down. But they must jump clear to get their name in the lead. If he can be faster than 31.16, he will take the lead. Thanks, Mitch. Safe over the final fence, but unfortunately we do have a rail, so there will be 4 jumping penalties. We'll just add 4 penalties here in the first round, so we'll not proceed to the jump-off round. Well, once again, a very special thank you to Murray and Donna Moles, sponsoring our AM7 Show Jumping Championships here this afternoon. So it'll be Phil Stevens and Carrico, the horse and rider combination we watch now. Phil's won a couple of classes already here at the show this year. Well, here in the first round, Phil carrying 2 rails, so 8 jumping penalties. Those of you that are here watching show jumping for the first time, a rail that's knocked to the ground, they receive 4 jumping penalties. And it's not judged on your presentation or style, it's just simply judged on if you clear that jump. The most fairest horse sport you can find is the sport of show jumping. Anyone can be the judge. You can be the judge sitting in the grandstand this afternoon. Thanks, Phil. That was Phil Stevens coming down to his final fence. And Phil is one of our furthest travelled, or if not the furthest travelled competitor here at Cairns this year with his 2 daughters, Alyssa and Kaylee, all the way from the Gippsland of Victoria. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that will complete the AM7 Show Jumping Championship here this afternoon. We will have results to hand very, very shortly. Once again, thanks very much to ProGig, who are looking after all the sound equipment here this year at the show. If you want the best in the business, make sure your number one contact is ProGig. They're professional, reliable, and have got the best equipment when it comes to sound equipment. So that's why they're chosen to work Australia's largest regional show. That is ProGig. We thank them for their support once again here in 2022. Well, as we make the presentation here in our show jumping ring here this afternoon, and this is for the AM7 Open Show Jumping Championships. Congratulations, Dallas Bailey from Mackay here in Queensland, taking out first place, riding Willark Charleston. All clear in the second round, the jump off with a time of 31.16. Congratulations, Dallas, taking out first place here this afternoon. In second place goes to Linda Crabb, local show jumping competitor, riding Kentucky Fancy Diva, 31.44. And of course, Linda and Kentucky Fancy Diva were the winner of this class 12 months ago. Our third place ribbon will be awarded to Collector New South Wales show jumping rider Caitlin Staples, riding Amigo. Our fourth place will go to Mitchell Everingham, riding Pommy Jackaroo. And fifth place going to Jermaine Regato. So there they are, folks, as they stand in front of you now in our Clive Gordon Mate Arena. Our winner, Dallas Bailey, riding Willark Charleston, taking out first place here in our AM7 Show Jumping Championship here this afternoon. As we see past winners of this particular class, we go back to Patrick Everingham, was winner of this class, riding well from Prince back in 2017. In 2018, it was Bridget Allenson riding Missing Link. 2019, it was Mitchell Everingham riding Destructive, was the winner of this class. So congratulations, competitors, folks, as they parade off now. Give them a big round of applause. Our winner from Mackay here in Queensland, Dallas Bailey, riding Willark Charleston. Well, thank you very much, competitors. It was a great show jumping class we watched here this afternoon. Well, we'll come back a little bit later on in Centre Ring with our Invitation Masters show jumping event. It's scheduled to get underway a little bit later on this afternoon, a part of our nighttime program. And, of course, we will be back here commencing our nighttime entertainment at 5:15 this afternoon after our Australian National Anthem performance. We will start at 5:15 with the Ergon Energy and Cairns Taxis Division 1, Heat 1 of the Cairns Show Novice Queensland Pole Climbing Championships. Following that at 5:30 p.m. here tonight, we will have the Bendigo Bank Woodchop Northerners versus Southerners Invitation Team Relay. At 5:45 tonight, it will be the Ergon Energy and Cairns Taxi Division 2, Heat 1 of the Open Australian Show Pole Climbing Championship. And as we said, at 6 o'clock tonight, we will have our Invitational Masters show jumping. And at 6:45 tonight, we will have our Big Electrics and Evolve Equipment Hire Specialist presents Airtime FMX. Brad Birch, Tommy G, the MC. The best in the business will be performing with Airtime FMX, the best freestyle motocross team in Australia. And boys and girls, you are certainly going to love them here tonight. They'll be flying through the Cairns night sky with the greatest of ease. After that, we'll have the first heats of our Triple M Esky Racing Tournament tonight at 5 minutes past 7 o'clock. And then at 7:15, well, we're in for action aplenty when it comes to the team from Rooftop Express. It's lovely to have Dave Manchon and the team from Rooftop Express up here for the first time and presented here this year by Evolve Equipment Management. A very special thank you to Miss Cherie Cristanti from Evolve Equipment Management presenting the Rooftop Express team here this year with their ever-famous Brumby Muster. So that's all coming up here tonight. There's plenty to see and do. We've got the Fireworks Spectacular coming up at 9 p.m. tonight. Plenty of things to see and do right around the showground, folks. So enjoy your afternoon and evening here at the 117th running of the Cairns Show. On behalf of the Cairns Show Society, it's lovely to have your presence here this afternoon and to have your wonderful company. And on behalf of Show Society President Mr. Ian Allen, we extend a very warm welcome to all of our wonderful event partners and event sponsors for 2022. We'll take a short break here in the Clive Gordon Main Arena and we'll come back very, very shortly.